Democrats are something else. So it all started with Representative Michael Cloud from Texas mentioning Martin Luther King. Here's a clip of what he said.
Yield to the gentleman from Texas.
Our founding documents talked about having a nation where we recognize that all people were created equal. Martin Luther King talked about that being a promissory note because, as we know, that had not always been the case and has not always been the case in our country. And it took too long and has taken too long for us to get where we need to go. But he also said that we shouldn't use the results of segregation, and I think we could also say discrimination, as the justification for future segregation or discrimination.
And that's all he said about Martin Luther King. And then he continued with explanation regarding a specific legislation. But somehow, someway, this lady, Representative Ayanna Pressley, thought she had the right to basically limit his free speech and who is able to quote. But thank God Representative Clay Higgins wasn't having it. Watch this.
Yes, Ms. Pressley from Massachusetts.
While this Republican policy may have a new name, it's the same old tired game. Look, y'all are entitled to your opinions, but not a denial of the facts. Do you all know your history? Do you know American history? The original Constitution counted enslaved individuals as 3/5 of a person. And I'd also just like to take a personal note of privilege to say, please keep Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s name out of your mouths. Yes. Your perversion of his words and his mission when his children have asked you to stop invoking his name and perverting his work when he was a proud and unapologetic black man fighting for equality for black Americans and all marginalized people. So you all are entitled to your opinions, but not a denial of the facts. But I'm not surprised that you would deny American history. And that is why I'm committed to opposing this bill and urge my colleagues to do the same.
Gentlelady yields back. We'll go back. We'll rotate sides. Chair recognizes Mr. Perry from Pennsylvania. Then we'll recognize Talib after that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield my time, such time as he may consume, to the gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Higgins.
I thank my colleague, and I appreciate my Democrat colleague for exemplifying exactly the kind of oppression of freedoms that we're referencing. How about we'll quote whoever we want to quote? How about that's my First Amendment right? That's exactly the kind of baked-in oppression. Like, how dare a white Republican quote Martin Luther King? We actually had a congressman say that just now in this committee. Well, thank you, good lady, for once again exemplifying the type of oppression that we stand against. You know I'm right. You know I'm right.
Order. Mr. Higgins has the floor.
And we will quote who we please to quote.
A disgrace.
And we will continue to speak freely because I'm a veteran. That's the country that I serve. That's the Constitution I swore an allegiance to. And that oath has no expiration date. I will fight for it with my last life's blood. For my right to speak freely and yours, good lady. You will never hear me saying, how dare you quote anybody you please to quote. And that exemplifies, America, precisely the type of institutional oppression that my colleague, Mr. Cloud's bill, for which I'm an original co-sponsor, hopes to push back against.
But Mr. Higgins, have you read your own bill? Have you read your own bill? Because it is trying to regulate speech. It is actually regulating.
Mr. Perry, you're out of order. You're out of order.
Perry.
It's Mr. Perry's time.
Man, I can't believe we have people like this in Congress. Keep his name out of your mouth. So childish. Who do you think you are? That's just embarrassing. Thank God for people like Representative Clay Higgins. You let me know what you think about this in the comment section. God bless you and your family. Catch you on the next one. Wow.